Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Lingot bag from Delvaux, and I'm going to be comparing it to the Roulis from Hermès. I'm Anesu Sagonda and I produce educational luxury content for anyone after the finer things, whether you're new to money and wanting to learn how to navigate the terrain, or you're into luxury but you want to focus more on quality under the radar brands, or you're young and starting out in life and wanting to reap the benefits of buying quality from the get-go, then my content is geared towards you. I feel incredibly bad because I hardly ever talk about Delvaux, and that's not because I don't like the brand. I have in the past. I'll include some of those videos at the end of this, but I just have a lot of content to create, and unless there's a context, I sometimes forget brands or styles, for example. But Delvaux recently came onto my radar because I found out Richemont, the second largest luxury group in the world, had bought Delvaux. Mixed feelings, because the advantages and disadvantages of that. I mean, the distinct advantage is you suddenly get access to a lot of money. So they're able to crank up the profile of the brand, a lot of money spent on marketing. You have access to their much wider distribution network. So you have a bigger, far-reaching global reach. But what makes me nervous, and I also found out as well soon afterwards, that Serapi and Milano, a brand I'm also going to talk about soon, had also been bought by Richemont. And a couple of the assistants mentioned that they had changed suppliers, and hence they'd had a couple of returns because some of the hardware was causing problems. They'd changed suppliers, and they were now using different hardware for some of their bags. So that always makes me a little nervous, and I would hate to see Delvaux change because Delvaux is an absolutely outstanding brand. I like the fact that their designs are different, they're exquisite. The emphasis they put on their designs, very similar to Valextra. Valextra is the top Italian handbag brand. When it comes to commercial known brands, Delvaux is the same. And I like the way they just bring in a much wider dimension of colors, the designs, the styles they add to some of their core styles. I hope they never lose that and they don't change the quality. That would just be an absolute disaster, I think. But time will tell, let's wait and see. But last summer, I had popped into one of the Delvaux boutiques in London to take a look at the Brillant. There were a couple of limited edition pieces I wanted to look at. And as I was looking at the bags, I noticed their newest style, the Lingot. And I literally was stopped dead in my tracks because I thought, oh my gosh, that is a beautiful bag. It's arresting. When you look at it, you really notice it. It stands out. The design, the precision, the quality, the look, the finish is absolutely beautiful. And I thought, oh, I'll come back in a few weeks. Few weeks became 9 months, and I went back literally last week to take a look at the Lingot. And the first time I saw the Lingot, I couldn't help but think, oh my goodness, it reminds me a lot of the Roulis from Hermès, and I'm sure at a fraction of the price. It would be at a fraction of the price. The Lingot, the small size I'm going to be talking about, it comes in 2 sizes, retails for £3,000, whereas the Roulis, we're looking at prices of between £7,000 to £8,000 depending on the type of leather that they're using. And then of course they've got exotic skin, so the price then more than doubles. But when you look at the Roulis and the Lingot, 2 very different products. The Lingot is way ahead of the Roulis when you consider the craftsmanship. The leathers are on par. Delvaux source their leathers from tanneries owned by Hermès, so they're getting access to the best quality leathers. But when it comes to the craftsmanship, the Lingot is far superior to the Roulis, and you notice it straight away. And recently, Delvaux opened a concession in Harrods. First floor, women's wear, and it's directly opposite the Hermès women's wear concession as well on the first floor. So I was able to take a look at the bags in tandem. And when you stand them side by side, unfortunately, I wasn't able to take one from one boutique to the other, but from muscle memory, being able to remember the weight and so forth, the Lingot is far superior. And I thought, I need to talk about this bag because I haven't seen it anywhere out and about. I haven't seen anybody carrying it. But this is a mighty little bag. When you consider the craftsmanship, the bag in its entirety, it's absolutely exquisite. And it's at a fraction of the price to the Roulis. Is the Roulis worth it? I don't necessarily think so when you have the Lingot at this level of craftsmanship. The Lingot currently comes in 3 leathers. You have the box calfskin, which is Delvaux's signature, their core, their house leather that most of their bags come in. Very gently textured with a vertical design. Then there's the Holland, which is the smooth calfskin. And then there's the Alpen, which is the heavily textured calfskin. The bags are weighted, they're heavy. The heaviest I've ever felt, particularly for a small clutch, but just clutch in general. When you carry the bags, you can feel the weight. It's substantial, it's quality. I really like it. And then when you compare it to the Hermès, it's day and night. The Roulis is considerably lighter, especially when you're comparing like for like the leathers from Hermès with the leathers from Lingot. It's day and night. The Roulis pales into insignificance when you compare the weight. It doesn't feel as substantial, it's not as impressive. And if you didn't know it was Hermès, you'd think, oh, is this a quality product? The Hermès Roulis typically come in a much wider selection of leathers. I've seen Evergreen, I've seen Clemence, I've seen Swift, and then a number of other leathers I haven't seen yet. And then they also come in exotic leathers. I've seen lizard, I've seen crocodile, and I'm sure there are other leathers, but the exotic leathers are much lighter. They don't double up or layer up the skins. They're lighter. The bag feels a lot more flimsy, and then the leather variations are a little more substantial but still fairly light. And especially when you compare them to the Lingot, whether it's the box, the Holland or the Alpen, the bags are not flimsy. They're fairly solid. They're substantial. They don't move about. They're not flimsy at all. And comparing the straps, for example, the strap on the Lingot is a lot more rigid, a lot more robust than, for example, any of the Roulis ones, whether it's the leather or the exotic. They're fairly flimsy. And I like the fact that with the straps, they have very thin, neatly applied edge coating. So it really adds to boosting, particularly the Lingot strap. As I mentioned, the Lingot is a lot more substantial in the weight. When you compare their 3 leathers, the Alpen, as you can imagine, is the heaviest, and then the box is the lightest with the Holland in the middle. The Lingot comes with a mixture of both gold and also silver hardware. Again, it's fairly thick, solid, robust, weighted hardware as well. You open the bag just has the one compartment. It's a small size bag. You're not buying it for the roomy element. You're not looking for something that's roomy, but there's enough room to take your essentials. They've taken away the need for a wallet. There's a little pocket where you can place your cards, your cash, and then you can place the rest of your items, whether it's keys, a compact, lipstick, in the body of the bag. You also have behind the sleeve where you place your cards, an open sleeve, so you can place money, cards in there as well. And then behind the bag, you also have another open sleeve. So they've tried to maximize on carrying potential for the bag, but it's not a bag for carrying. It's very much a showpiece. It's a bag you can dress up or dress down. As I mentioned before, you have 2 distinct bags. You have the clutch, and then you also have the option to add a strap, which is also adjustable. And then you have the option to either carry it over the shoulder or as a crossbody bag. Coming back to the inside of the bag, it's essentially a square-shaped bag, but it has rounded corners, beautifully edge-coated the whole way around the bag. Very thin, neatly applied edge coating. No doubt it would have been done in stages, a little bit at a time. Incredibly neat, very thin, consistent the whole way through the bag, the body of the bag, and then the top of the bag, it's the turned edges. And then the entire bag is leather lined, what I would expect at this level of luxury. And then what I really like, and this is what made me think, oh my goodness, the attention to detail, the thought, the design, the way it's all beautifully come together. Right at the bottom of the inside of the bag, at the bottom of the flap, you have a very discreetly positioned little sleeve, and that is where you slip through the strap. I like the way it's very discreetly positioned. It's a little sleeve. So when you're carrying the bag using the strap, it comes out flush. So you don't even know where it's attached. You'd actually think it's attached to the body of the bag. And I like the fact that from the outside, you can't see the attachment from the front, the side, or the back of the bag at all. And then when you don't have the strap, it just very discreetly blends into the rest of the bag, the little sleeve, and then you can carry it as the clutch. And those are the details you're paying for. They've thought through all of that, the different panels, the neatness of the stitching. There isn't a single stitch that's out of place. The way the bag just comes together, the way it flows, the silhouette, it's absolutely exquisite. And then moving over to the Roulis. Roulis comes in 2 sizes, just like the Lingot as well, small, medium. Inside of the bag, you have the 2 compartments, and then you have a sleeve in the middle. You have a strap that's permanently attached, similar to the medium-sized Lingot, and it makes the bag a little more casual. You have the option to dress it up to a more elevated, a smarter, casual bag, where you have the exotics that you have the option with Hermès, but no doubt with Delvaux, they really like pushing the boat out when it comes to designs that are striking, that are stunning, that are different. And I'm sure in time, as the bag continues to gain traction, they'll introduce other designs as well. So they may not have exotics, they may, but they may have the leathers and then additional detail, which just adds to the appeal, the allure of the bags. But the Roulis it's a lighter bag, it's a lighter product. The Lingot is far superior when you consider absolutely everything. The leathers they've used, same quality as Hermès, but the craftsmanship is just next level. There's no competition. You have to give the Lingot credit where credit is due. The craftsmanship, the attention to detail, the edge coating, the way it's been beautifully applied, the turned edges, the silhouette of the bag, the strap, the robustness, the thickness, the quality, the way everything has been executed, it's absolutely exceptional. And it's a bag that I looked at and I marvel, and I'm glad that the 2 concessions are side by side. So next time you're in Harrods, if you have the chance, please do take a look at both, and you'll be wowed. It's an absolutely stunning bag that's been very well executed. Any other questions about the Lingot? Let me know as always in the comments down below. But to all my other viewers and subscribers, as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.